1, 2, 3, 4.
Wanna hear you go.
What do the best leaders do differently during AI disruption? What separates leaders who thrive during AI disruption from those who stall? It's not speed. It's not tech fluency. According to neuroscience, it's regulation. Leaders operating from a nervous, regulated system, what polyvagal theory calls the ventral vagal state, make clearer decisions, build more trust, and create the psychological safety their teams need to adopt AI without going underground. I am Sahar Andradi, your AI whisperer, a neuroscience-based AI leadership consultant, and today I'm going to show you the invisible competitive advantage that most executive AI strategies completely miss. What if I told you that the biggest competitive advantage in AI transformation has nothing to do with your technology stack, nothing to do with your budget, nothing to do with your tools, and nothing to do with your implementation timeline? The leaders who are winning right now in the middle of AI chaos are not moving faster than everyone else. They are moving calmer. And that calm is not a personality trait. It's a neurological state. And it is absolutely learnable. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like and why it's the advantage your competitors are not talking about. Here is what most AI leadership strategies get wrong from the beginning, from the start. They treat AI disruption as a technology problem. So they invest in tools, platforms, training programs, and then they wonder why adoption stalls, why their best people go quiet, why the ROI never materializes. Here is what the neuroscience actually shows. When your nervous system perceives threat, and for most leaders, AI disruption reads as a threat, the prefrontal cortex, our logical center, our thinking center, goes offline. Not partially, significantly. The prefrontal cortex is where you do your best strategic thinking. When you assess risk accurately, when you hold complexity without collapsing into simple answers. A leader with an activated amygdala, our threat center, cannot do things well. They can look calm on the outside, they can sound decisive, but the quality of their thinking is fundamentally compromised. Now, let's flip this. A leader who is in a regulated state, what polyvagal theory calls the ventral vagal state, has full access to their prefrontal cortex. They can think clearly under pressure, they can hold space for ambiguity, they can make decisions without needing certainty first. And here is the part that changes everything for AI strategy. A regulated leader is contagious. The human nervous system is a social organ. We co-regulate. When the person at the top of the room is regulated, genuinely, neurologically regulated, not just performing calm, the nervous systems of everyone around them follow. That means your team adopts AI faster, with less resistance, less shadow behavior, more honesty about what's working and what is not working. The leader's nervous system state is the first AI adoption tool you have. And almost nobody is talking about it. So let me show you what this looks like in actual practice. I worked with an executive team at a large organization going through AI transformation. 2 leaders, same level, same access to resources, same technology. The first leader, I'll call him David, ran every AI meeting from a place of urgency. Tight timelines, high stakes. Every session started with what wasn't done yet. His team delivered, but they delivered in silence. Nobody raised concerns. Nobody flagged the shadow AI tools they were using because they needed to hit his targets. Nobody told him the approved system wasn't actually working. The second leader, I will call her Jen, opened every AI meeting with the same question. What's one thing that surprised you about AI this week? One question, 30 seconds. But what it did neurologically was create a window of safety, a moment where the amygdala could stand down. Her team told her everything: the tools that were not working, the processes they had improvised, the fears they had about the roles. 6 months in, David's AI rollout was on schedule and underperforming. Jen's was 2 weeks behind schedule and exceeding every adoption metric. The difference wasn't strategy. It was nervous system state and the culture it created. Here is the neuroscience behind Jen's question. When you ask someone to share a surprise, you are activating curiosity, not threat. Curiosity and threat cannot exist in the same nervous system state. Curiosity and judgment cannot exist in the same nervous state. Curiosity and bias cannot exist in the same nervous stem state. Curiosity opens the problem-solving centers in the brain. So you cannot be curious and dysregulated at the same time. Jen was doing something profound with a 30-second ritual. She was resetting the nervous system state of her entire team before the hard conversation started. That is regulated leadership in action. So what do you actually do with this? 3 things. Practical, immediate. First, audit your entry. How do you enter your AI conversations, your strategy meetings, your implementation reviews? Because the first 90 seconds set the nervous system tone for everything that follows. A dysregulated entry is urgency, pressure, unresolved tension from the last meeting, primes threat in everyone in the room. A regulated entry, even one deliberate breath, one grounding question, one moment of stated intention creates safety before the content starts. This is not soft, this is not kumbaya, this is biology. And it determines the quality of every decision that follows. Second, watch your language under pressure. Dysregulated leaders use language that narrows option. We have to, there is no choice, we are already behind. Regulated leaders use language that opens space. Here is what I'm seeing. What am I missing? What do we need to make this safe enough to try? The language is not just politeness. It's a direct signal to every nervous system in the room and whether it's safe to think. Third, name what's hard before you ask people to solve it. AI disruption is genuinely hard. It's disrupting identities, not just processes. And when leaders pretend it's not hard, when they lead with, oh, this is exciting, before acknowledging the fear, teams do not believe them. Do not believe them. And a team that doesn't believe you cannot follow you. Listen to this. A team that doesn't believe you cannot follow you. Say the hard thing first, like, I know this transition is uncomfortable. I know some of you are worried about what this means for your role. That's real. And we're going to work through it together. That sentence, delivered from a regulated state, does more for AI adoption than any training program. If this landed somewhere real, that's not an accident. That's your brain recognizing a gap between where you are and where your leadership needs to be. I do 30-minute free clarity calls. No pitch, no agenda. Just truth about where you are and what's next. The link to my calendar is in the show notes. Book it this week. My calendar gets filled up pretty fast. AI Cafe Conversation Podcast is the only podcast teaching regulated leadership for AI disruption with a medical and neuroscience lens on executive AI adoption. No tech required. I'm not a techie. This was our Friday Forbes Like article. I am Sahar Andrade, your AI whisperer. And before I tell you see you Wednesday, like I always say, show me some love. Like, share, subscribe to my podcast. Thank you for making us the number 2 on the top 2% global podcast. I appreciate you. You can always reach me through the Calendly link in the description or email me at sahar@saharconsulting.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn. Till we meet again on Wednesday, peace out.